One of the greatest drivers that Formula One has ever had, EPTA champion Michael Schumacher, caught the world's attention in December 2013, when it was reported that at the age of 44 he had suffered a serious skiing accident in the French Alps, which although many believed would take his life, did not kill him. However, even today, almost 10 years later, he is still undergoing rehabilitation. The Formula One legend was put into an induced coma after this serious skiing accident in 2013. And his health condition has been a mystery ever since, and there were those who doubted whether he was really still alive. But I will tell you about this with very current news and information. Welcome. I am Meyh Horta, and yes, I will start by asking you to leave a like on this video for me, because that way you help me here on the platform. And if you're not subscribed yet and like investigative, mysterious and supernatural content, subscribe here. Turn on notifications so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video here on the channel. Let me know in the comments what next documentary theme you want me to bring you. I'm recording this video in January 2024, so updates are relevant up to that time. On the morning of December 28, 2013, Michael Schumacher was skiing with his son Mick, who was 14 at the time. They were descending to a region at the Marbella Resort in the French Alps. The German was in a dangerous area that was not marked between two slopes, and he was wearing a helmet. But even so, when he hit his head, he suffered a serious trauma that left him out for months. According to the doctor who treated Schumacher, as reported by the Autosport portal, he would have died if he had not been wearing adequate protection. After the accident, he was taken by helicopter to a hospital located about 17 kilometers away, and the entire journey took less than 10 minutes. He was later transferred, and the 7-time champion underwent 2 surgeries at the Grenoble hospital. After 6 months in an induced coma, in June 2014, the driver began to be taken out of it as an induced coma. He began to show small signs of consciousness. This greatly encouraged the people around him. With that, he was transferred to another hospital, also located in Switzerland. At this second hospital, Sabine Ken, who is the family's advisor, says that Schum had his medical records stolen and that they were offered to the press for €50,000. Faced with this fact, in September 2014, Michael Schumacher left the hospital to continue treatment at home. He was taken to his mansion in Gled, Switzerland, where an ICU was set up with the equipment and staff necessary for the daily care of the EPTA champion. Since then, his health status has been shrouded in mystery. And what is known about the German driver's current condition is updated by brief comments from people within his inner circle of friends who, of course, do not want to get involved and even prefer not to be identified in the small notes that appear in the press. And it's not even necessary, right? Because the family must know these sources very well. After all, it's not difficult to link the last visit received to the published note, right, people? In the same month that he was taken to his mansion, the Telegraphy published an interview with Philipp Straff, former driver and friend of Michael Schumacher, and he revealed that the German was indeed paralyzed and in a wheelchair. His words: "Schumacher cannot speak and has memory problems." He added. Back in May 2015, the advisor stated that the driver's condition was improving slowly, considering the severity of the injury he had suffered. More than a year later, in September 2016, his lawyer Felix Dem told the German court that Schumacher was unable to walk, denying a report previously published by DIAB. News about the driver practically stopped for 3 years, so we were left with a gap in the air with no one knowing anything about Schumacher. That was when speculation began as to whether the driver was actually still alive. Without details from doctors or family members, Michael Schumacher began to be cared for by his wife and a medical team. There was always hope for his recovery. There was even an expectation that the German's family would move to Spain, but this, evidently, did not happen. New updates were only given by Gentid, former Ferrari manager and former president of the FIA. This happened in July 2019, when he claimed that the EPTA champion was making good progress, but also struggling to communicate. This same information was disclosed in an interview by Pietro Ferrari. He really can't communicate. Back in 2019, Michael Schumacher was taken to Paris for experimental stem cell treatment. However, there was no information about whether the results were achieved or not. What is known is that he was awake and breathing without the help of machines, but unable to communicate or move. As an athlete, of course, his body is well prepared and can handle everything he has been facing. The driver's son, Mick Schumacher, has also not commented on his father's health. Mick Schumacher, who is currently a reserve driver for the Mercedes team and also a test driver for this same team in Formula One, has just renewed his contract for the 2024 season. And in 2021, Netflix released the documentary Schumacher. It was the only production that had the approval of the driver's family, and in it, his wife Karina explained the decision to guarantee the athlete's privacy. It was one of the few times that Karina spoke to the public, and in this documentary, she gives a moving testimony and talks a lot about her husband's health. It's worth watching, it's really moving. And I'm going to transcribe some of the phrases, right, some of what Schumacher's wife said. She said that everyone misses Michael a lot, but he's different here. But he's here and that gives us strength. We're moving on with our lives and private is private, as he always said. It's very important to me that he continues to enjoy his private life as much as possible. Michael has always protected us. Now we are protecting Michael, declared Karina to the production of the Netflix documentary. Also in this same production, her son Mick Schumacher spoke about the relationship he has with his father. He currently says that since the accident, the experiences they have been having, these moments, he believes that many people have with their parents, but that his relationship with his father is no longer present in the same way. They exist, but to a lesser and different degree, and he thinks this is a great injustice, for sure, right? Mick's words. My father and I would understand each other differently now, because we speak a similar language, the language of motorsports. And we would have much more to talk about. And that's what I think about most of the time, how cool it would be, and I would give anything for that. He continued. It must be very difficult for him as a son, right, who was with his father when this incident happened. And today, as a driver, he would also certainly have many exchanges. In the few information, representatives of the family said that Schumacher is recovering slowly, and the friends who visit the house or who somehow have some information, some access, they prefer to respect Karina's requests for a description. She has always respected her husband's friends in Formula One, and now she demands the same. It's the least, right? It's the least she and her family can have right now. So, remembering here that much of what is known today about Michael Schumacher's condition is, as I said at the beginning of this documentary, right, of this video, it is reported there by friends, by people who frequent the family's residence, that very few friends are allowed to visit Michael, and they bring this information. So, it's nothing official, just presenting it to the media regularly saying how he is. How it's happening. So that's it. Continuing here, recently, in July 2022, Jean Todt spoke again about his friend and he revealed the following, that the two watch Formula 1 races together without giving many details. He just said the following, that he doesn't miss Mikhail's presence, because he can see him whenever he wants. And yes, it's true that he watches the races with Mikhail. Of course, he misses what they used to do together there, which was commentating on the races, making plans, and making projects. So that's all that happens there, the company that Jean Todt has with Mikhail Schumacher there, the two of them watching the race. Then there's that doubt, does Mikhail really understand? He watches there, he knows what's going on, he has this notion of what's going on outside. In March 2023, Ed Jordan, who is known as the German driver's former boss, after all, he was the one who gave Schumacher his first opportunity in Formula 1. He told Alden that Karina Schumacher makes an unimaginable effort to take care of her husband. He revealed that it's been almost 10 years since Karina has been able to go to a party, to a lunch, or to do any activity outside the mansion. It's as if she were almost a prisoner, because if she leaves the house, if she goes to an event, somewhere, everyone would surround her and only want to talk about Schumacher. Ed Jordan is a longtime family friend and he said that she lives an extremely discreet life today, that she thinks mainly about protecting her husband and everything around him and that she keeps her current health status an absolute secret. That's why Karina is nicknamed the guardian angel of the 19-time champion. According to Ed Jordan, as reported by All Sport, his 54-year-old wife does everything possible to keep her husband's health status a secret and only allows a few people to visit the Formula 1 champion regularly. And one of the people who has unrestricted access, who can always come in to see Schumacher, is Jean Todt, the former director of Ferrari. Ed even recalled in this interview that the first few days there, right after Schumacher's accident, he was vetoed by Karina. The German woman vetoed her friend from visiting Schumacher, asking him very kindly to understand that this was not the moment to be seen as a protective measure, that she was protecting Mikhail, just as he had always protected his family. Days before Schumacher's accident, which would have been 10 years ago, his brother, Ralf Schumacher, suggested that the 7-time champion might never fully recover from this episode. He stated that nothing is as it used to be, that despite advances in medical technology, Schumacher has not shown much progress. He also reinforced that life is unfair, sometimes, that his brother was very lucky throughout his life, but that it was cut short by this tragic accident. And finally, on January 9, 2024, former British Formula 1 star Johnny Habstein, in an interview with the Bet Insights portal, gave some of the last information we know about the driver, the most current ones. He said that we only hear things secondhand. As I said a little while ago, all we know, all that is released is secondhand news and information. In other words, the famous Chinese whispers, right? He says that only people who manage to visit Schumacher tell him how he is doing. So they report what they saw. He also adds that he heard from people in the Formula 1 world that Schumacher sits at the dinner table with his family, with the people in the house. But he cannot say that this is true. There are no images, only information that Schumacher tries to be included in a normal life among the family. We don't hear much from the family, and that is perfectly understandable. And this has always been part of the family's way of life, of keeping everything very private, very secret. He also said that this was also the case when he was a racer. Well, things haven't changed much, no, this issue of keeping everything very private, very secret. Remember when Karina said this in the documentary? Regarding private, private is private. So, this hasn't evolved much and, unfortunately, many fans and friends would like to have a little more information about Schumacher, but private is private. And Johnny Rebert, he also remembered how Schumacher was very outgoing and playful when they weren't racing during the championship breaks. He says that Schumacher would walk around the room, right? And his thing was ripping off everyone's shirts and pants. And, especially the buttoned shirts, that's what he loved to rip off. That was Schumacher's fun side. And these are memories that most people haven't seen, and that are beautiful memories that he says he carries with him, that Schumacher had a great sense of humor and that he hopes we can all see again. Finally, Rebert said that he believes that the driver will, that he should be, and that he will continue in this situation for a long time. He assumes that the family is waiting for science to present something truly innovative that will bring back the Michael Schumacher that we all knew. And so that people who only saw him through television images, when he was dynamic on a racetrack, can once again live with and get to know this Michael Schumacher. The report concluded. And this is the wish of all of us who miss this Formula One champion. We hope that his recovery continues and that an improvement in his condition and his awakening will be effectively reported here soon. Well, then leave it to me in the comments below to tell you what the next documentary topic you want me to bring. I hope you have had access to the information you were looking for about Schumacher. And that's it. Thank you for staying with me until now, and see you soon. That's where I'm going. Bye.